The Veilbreaker update is one of Warframe's biggest quality of life updates ever, and it doesn't disappoint. With new things such as new Veilbreaker quests, ammo has been reworked, explosives and AoE weapons got a few changes, Excalibur, Mag and Vault have had their power kit touched up, the Protea Deluxe skin finally dropped. All of this and more, and this is only the first part of a two-part update. But the coolest and most impressive thing, and what I think is going to bring more players to Warframe, is the all-new, gorgeous-looking, spear-throwing, and all-around fun-time new frame, Styanax. What's up homies, my name is Scorch. Warframe's latest update is filled with new, exciting stuff to talk about, but today I wanted to focus on what I think is the coolest part of the update, the new Warframe, Styanax. Styanax? How do you guys say it? Quick disclaimer, I am new to Warframe, and still experiencing its main quest, so there is every chance that I will say something wrong. Just know I'm doing my best, and feel free to talk about it in the comments. I'm always checking up on them and keen to soak up as much knowledge from the community as possible. And for those that do take the time, thank you. I really appreciate it. Now let's get into the video. First, I want to make sure everyone knows that Styanax is free until September 22nd. All you have to do is log on and he's all yours. And let me tell you, he is so freaking worth it. His first ability, Axios Javelin, can be thrown into enemies dealing okay damage, but also picks up enemies near it with some kind of energy field, holding them in place for 8 seconds, having plenty of time to combo this with something else. The Javelin has a 50-meter range with 1 Javelin per throw, dealing puncture damage on a direct hit, but also inflicts blast damage to anyone within 15 meters. At a low cost of 15 energy, making this a top tier ability in my books. Next up, Tharos Strike. A more AoE based attack, repelling enemies with 9 shields releasing in a 190-degree horizontal formation. Styanax will knock back any targets within a 2.5 meter radius, but also give a decent shove to anyone within 9 meters. The cherry on top for this ability is as well as dealing impact damage, it also restores your health. The more enemies hit, the more health restored. Perfect for those close calls, provided you have the 25 energy to spare. In a fairly successful attempt to make Styanax an all-rounder, they made his third ability a more support-based one. The appropriately named Rally Point draws the enemy's attention to Styanax. On top of that, you and your allies will start passively regenerating energy for the 30 seconds that the ability is active. Furthermore, you and your allies will regenerate extra shields for every kill assist they contribute. A fairly diverse ability with a hefty energy cost of 75. All this and more will take effect on anything within 30 meters. Last, but certainly not least, my personal favorite, Final Stand. This ability sees Styanax, along with several ethereal clones, rise into the air and rain down 30 javelins onto whichever unlucky souls you choose. Direct hits do massive damage, but each javelin does inflict a decent amount of explosive damage to anyone within 6 meters as well. All of his abilities combo really well, and will usually end with Final Stand if you face a really tanky enemy. Just make sure you have the 100 energy needed, or mod him to make him more efficient. We will touch on this a little bit later. For more information on Styanax and his abilities, check out the wiki. They go into much more detail than I could possibly ever do in a 10-minute video. I've linked it down below, but don't leave just yet. Wait till you watch this first. For those of you that watch my streams, you'll know that I don't change up my frame of choice very often. In fact, I've only just started experimenting with other frames, and I'm over 170 hours in. So when I used Styanax for the first time, my mind was blown. He honestly felt tailor-made for players like me. And let me explain why. I, for whatever reason, don't use abilities. However, Styanax really encourages it. All of his abilities are easy to understand and easy to execute. They present obvious and really effective combos, which is really refreshing and I think will spike the interest in a lot of new players, furthermore persuading them to keep giving Warframe a shot. Just throwing his javelin feels so incredibly satisfying. Unfortunately, I had my audio track set up wrong in my latest stream, but as anyone in my chat can attest, I was having the time of my life playing this guy. Here's a small highlight reel with my funnest and most badass moments with him so far. I think a lot of it speaks for itself, but if I had to pinpoint a few things, I'd say he looks great, feels amazing, and in my opinion has one of the most user-friendly ability lineups of any Warframe in the game. He's perfect for new players, making his free inclusion a massive big brain move by Digital Extremes. In general, I think Styanax benefits from anything that increases his strength and ability duration. Especially with his third ability, the longer that lasts, the more energy you regenerate, which means the more you can use your other abilities. Alongside that, anything that increases efficiency by lowering energy cost works great, as it is very easy to start throwing javelins like they cost nothing. Here's a list of some of my personal favorites, thanks to a certain Discord member for helping me pick these ones out. For new players, I recommend Intensify, Continuity, Redirection, Flow, and Vitality. For more experienced players, I hear the primed versions of Continuity and Flow work really well. From there, I suggest trying Transient Fortitude, Adaptation, and Boreal's Hatred. Let me know how you go with all of those, and leave a comment if they work really well. Thank you. So I wanted to talk about the lore quickly. I made a review of my experience coming back after around 9 years. When I did, I was very confused when it came to the story, mainly because I didn't know how to experience it, which sounds funny saying out loud, but it makes sense. As a new player, all I knew to do was check my codex, which showed me a bunch of quests in no particular order. Even with the prerequisites, there was still no direction, and the game didn't tell me where to go. As most new players would, I took this at face value and made a rash decision to give the story a 2. This is not what I think of the actual story. This was my initial rushed reaction to the story being presented in a way that I felt was just subpar. Since making that video, I have indeed spent more time playing, and I've been playing the quests in more or less chronological order, and I have to say, you were right. I've just finished the second dream, and it feels like the journey is just getting started, and I'm incredibly excited to see where it goes and how the story develops. For anybody that wants to join me and discover more about this extensive universe, please consider following me on Twitch. This is where I will be continuing to experience the story for the very first time. We have a lot of fun over there, and I'd love to have you. Links down below. But for now, that's all I have for you folks. If you've made it this far and enjoyed the video, consider hitting that sub button, maybe leave a like or a comment. It helps more than you know. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you out there, homies.